Hi Stampers, it's super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. In this video, I will show you how to create this hand stamped greeting card using the Way to Go stamp set and the Stitch with Whimsy dies. So let's get started. I need to mention also, this is part of a vlog hop with the Global SU Share Fair team. So make sure you hop around to all the rest of the videos. You'll get a lot of great ideas along the way. All right, so as I mentioned, we are using the Way to Go stamp set. I'm using this one with the flower here and also the Way to Go sentiment right there. The Stitched with Whimsies dies has 6 dies in the packet. We're using 4 of the dies in my card today. So this is the first one. So it makes this little stitched design. It doesn't totally cut out your card. So this is cut down then. This was a 3x3. Yep, that was a 3-inch square piece of basic white. And that's what we will use to stamp the goat. The next piece was just a piece I cut down. I think it was 3.75 inches, and then it was just long, and then I cut it off. So I'm going to do the stitching again. It just adds a nice little detail. And instead of leaving a straight edge, I am just going to fussy cut around where the stitching is. I'm going to be cutting pretty close to that stitched part, and I'm not really too concerned that I'm following the line. This card design is whimsy, and the dies are called Stitch with Whimsy, so it's just a whimsical fun card. You're going for angles on the sides and not straight. And I'm showing you that using your paper snips, this goes really quickly, but adds quite a bit of detail to your card. And then just round the corner. There we go. So that's the layer on your basic gray cardstock. So the basic gray you saw, I had the largest die on there. So we're going to fold that back. I'm going to grab my bone folder, crease that down so that it lays a little flatter while we are assembling here. So this pattern paper comes from the Snail Mail Suite, the Snailed It Suite from the January to June catalog. And I thought the mushroom pattern fit the goat stamp perfectly. All right, so we're done with that. Let's pull in our basic gray ink pad and ink it up. Tap, 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 straight up and down, no rocking, firm and committed pressure. And then I just stamped it a little bit off to the right, off center, and so that the horns and the ear are kind of on the stitched part, just like that. And then on the inside of the card, I've also got the goat kind of hanging off there, bringing a little bit of the outside to the inside. Okay, so we're done with the basic gray ink pad. And next I'm going to pull on the Blushing Bride ink pad and just stamp that at an angle. So that's an easy one. You don't have to worry about trying to make sure that it's straight. Done with that ink pad. Set that off to the side. All right, so a few more things that I stitched with Whimsy dyed would be a couple of the end pieces that I had left. So this was an end piece from cutting off 2 of these, you know, the sample card and the card that I'm creating with you today. And this piece is tucked on the inside. So I just look for a spot where the mushrooms would be centered. And I don't really care about what it looks like on the bottom, since I'm going to be tucking it under. So 2 lengths of adhesive there, and 1 at the top, and 1 at the bottom. And just placing it, just making sure there's about equidistant basic gray poking out there. And then, oops, don't want the goat upside down. This is not a mountain goat. And then you place your inside sheet wherever you want it so that you can see your mushrooms. So that's the inside. All right, as long as I've got my adhesive going right here, let's do the next layer. All right, so I cut a full little rectangle from this blue pattern, but you can see it would fit just behind that 3 by 3 inch square. So all you do is cut it in half or rip it in half, however you'd like to do it. So that's done. Before we proceed, I am going to do some coloring. So I'm grabbing my Stampin' Right markers, and the first thing that I did was I wanted to pull in some color from the flower. So on my sample card, I used Bermuda Bay, Stampin' Right, but on my flower I'm going to color with you, I'm using the Daffodil Delight. I thought I would pick a different set of colors between the sample and the one I do with you, so you can get a little bit of better idea of the colors you can pick out from this mushroom pattern. Next, we're doing Pear Pizzazz for the stem. And for this, I'm going to pick the Stampin' Right side, the thin tip. That way I can get the color where I want it a little easier. So that just adds a little bit of green. Kind of doing more pastel-y colors on this one. And then what got me going on using the Stampin' Right markers is I thought the goat needed some red lips to coordinate with the red mushrooms. There we go. And then last, a couple of eyelashes. So the longest lash on the outermost, which is the right side of the eyelid, and then one that's about a third of the way down, and then one that's just a little tiny one. There, so a little bit, some little lashes for our goat. All right, so we got a few more things to add. We've got this fun ribbon from the Playful Pets suite, which is carrying over to the new catalog. And the way I adhered that down was slap a little bit of adhesive on the corner. And then place it on the corner with a little bit hanging over on the left so you can wrap it around and tuck it. And then wrap it around and tuck it. And then I don't trust that adhesive. I should. It's pretty sticky. You can see it sticking to my fingers. But just to secure it, make sure it doesn't come unraveled while it's sitting on somebody's desk. I'm just going to put some tear and tape over that. Not going to pull the backer sheets off because I am going to pop this piece up with some dimensionals. So before I do the popping, let's tuck our little Bermuda Bay pieces behind. So again, just some strips of adhesive, and you can decide how much of this Bermuda Bay you want peeking out. I just wanted a little bit, just to bring the colors of that background piece into the focal point. All right, and then almost last, we're going to pop up our focal point on some dimensionals. So I'm using the minis. So one on each corner and one in the center is fine. You don't need to cover the back of your focal point with dimensionals. It will pop up whether you cover it or just put one on all 4 corners in the center. All right, and then the last thing that's different between the sample card and the one card I'm doing with you is this mushroom paper. When I cut off these 2 mats, I had some extra left, and I thought I would fussy cut off some of the mushrooms. So this card got, the sample card got the, ooh, I got a glue dot stuck in my finger. The sample card got a single, and then there's a pink striped, blushing bride striped, and a yellow one for the card I made with you just now. So there you go. Here's the card, my sample card, and here's the card I just created with you. Pretty cute. Oh, I think we should color the inside. Make sure you bring the inside out, the outside to the inside completely. There you go. And while I'm finishing coloring, I just want to say thank you for stamping with us today. Make sure you hop along on the rest of the stops on the vlog hop today. This is part of the Global SU Share Fair group, so you may recognize the names if you're part of that Facebook group. And if you're not part of that Facebook group, ask your demonstrator if you can join the group. All right. Happy stamping, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.